Welcome inside our Huskers Radio Network podcast. I'm Jessica Coody, and we've got a fun conversation today as recently, about a month or so ago, right? About a month or so, student athletes from the University of Nebraska took a really neat trip down to Panama and did some really cool things down there. So we're going to discuss that a little bit with, we got a group of people today. This should be a fun conversation. We have Stacey Burling, the Director of Education and Engagement for Life Skills. I know we've talked a lot about life skills throughout our programming. Luke Lindenmeyer from Husker football, redshirt freshman tight end, and from women's tennis, senior Isa Adrover Gallego, right? Okay, how you guys doing? Good summer so far?
Fantastic, yes.
Yeah,
Pretty
okay,
good.
well, let's start with Stacey. Just kind of give us a little bit of the background of the trip and why this was an opportunity that you guys wanted to provide for student athletes.
Yeah, so we started back in 2015 was the first trip we took student athletes on. So we've been, this was our sixth experience for student athletes. Really the idea of it is to provide an opportunity for the student athletes to step outside of their comfort zone, really open their minds, expand their thinking to a different way of life, a different culture, all while doing that, a service trip, the service component, but then also just really immersing ourselves in the country that we're visiting. So that's really the background and the premise of the experience.
And Luke, so why was this a trip that you guys wanted to be a part of? Luke, you want to start?
Yeah, I wanted to be a part of it, but I wasn't chosen until the Thursday before that we left, so it was kind of last minute for me. But it all worked out, and I wanted to do it because I love traveling and experiencing different cultures. And it was crazy because on the way there was people who were also going to the same place we were, but they were going to a resort, and we were going into like a hotel with within the culture, and we had a completely different experience from them. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to go basically to, experience a new culture also, and meet new student athletes that I've never talked to, which was the case. We were 20. And I think I talked with 2 or 3 of them before going. And just, to get away and meet new people and experience new things.
20 student athletes from 14 different sports. What was it like seeing all these different student athletes from different sports interact?
Yeah, so I think having experienced every trip with the student athletes, they always create that bond. They're always, they may know 1 or 2 or 3 people. We do have meetings leading up to the trip, but, they're 1 hour once a month, so it's not a lot of time to get to know each other, especially for an 8-day trip, being together constantly. So it's really incredible to see the bonds and the friendships they form. They're all working towards the same cause. They're trying new things at the same time, just experiencing a lot of different life lessons in different cultures, and all of that together I think really creates that bond within the group. And Luke actually coined, I think it was when they went to the Batcave tour, they became La Familia, and so that became kind of the quote tagline of the trip, that every night we'd have a discussion and we end with La Familia.
That's awesome.
And so it's what we became.
Well, Luke, tell us about some of the things you guys did in terms of the service aspect of it.
So I think it was the second day, we went to a community center in the community that we're in, and we just hung out with the kids for a few hours, played soccer with them, jump rope, drew with them, built Legos with them. And then our main project was working at a preschool and painting, repainting, clearing out a library, repainting that, and then building a playground, which was like the big one that we did, which was pretty hard, but it was pretty cool to see that all come together.
It's pretty hard. So
Yeah.
You're saying you guys didn't have any expert builders in the student athlete group?
We created some expert builders, I would like to say.
Who was the MVP of building the playground, Stacey?
Ooh, I think Mo Mueller. He was
The
a
gymnast,
gymnast.
he could just climb everywhere. And we did not speak Spanish other than Isa, and they didn't speak English at all, so we would have to ask Isa to come translate, to explain something that we couldn't do with our hands, but that part was really cool.
Yeah, and in that sense, Isa was the MVP because she was our translator. And
They did a good job, though.
Yeah.
They followed your instructions?
Well, they did a good job learning Spanish. That's what I meant. They were just, and with the gestures and everything, communicating. They were, and with the kids too. That was beautiful to see.
How rewarding is that to know, it's you go interact with them, but then also you're building something that's going to be able to impact a community for a long time after you leave?
It's just, I don't know. I don't think we realized how important it was until we saw everything done. But starting it, we were like just having fun and we just hanging out with the kids and I don't know, trying to do our best to make it look better. And just, it was really impacted me. Like last day when we saw everything, we painted the playground, the house, the library, and you saw everything in the landscape. I'm like, man, we did all of this. It was rewarding to see also how grateful they were, how they came to hug you and like Booker and Mo. It was just amazing.
We got a picture sent to us a couple of days after we came back of the kids playing on the playground, and it was like a live video, and like you could see them all just having fun on it.
Yeah.
And that was really rewarding. It brought a smile to all our faces.
What do you take away from an experience like that where you didn't speak the language and then you had to figure out a way to do it, and then to know kind of the impact that you made there in those days that you were there?
Well, I kind of know Spanish, not a whole lot. I just know a little bit, un poco. But I feel like putting yourself in a different language, you can learn it easier. And I definitely picked up on a lot of things. And it was really cool because the kids barely knew English. We barely knew Spanish. But like they would like laugh at some things that you didn't know in Spanish, but then they would help you. Then we'd help them in English. And it was kind of just like back and forth helping each other, which was pretty cool in my eyes.
And Stacey, I mean, just this, you guys do so much in the surrounding communities here, but to go to a place like Panama and do this, why was that important for you guys?
So I think it's a different community that we're working with, right? Like, and I think everyone who applies to go on the trip, they're all like-minded. They all are very involved in life skills. They all are interested and passionate about giving back. And so to take it to that, one step further of going somewhere else and helping out a different community. And we make sure that we're working with a nonprofit who is, has a good reputation within the community. They've been there for over 10 years. The community that they're working in is very grateful and appreciates what they're doing. And so I think that helps make our experience all the better, is that we know who we're working with. We know that who we're helping, they want us to be there. And so I think that does add to the experience, and they're very welcoming. And so it's just, that's the main thing when picking and choosing who we're volunteering with.
Very cool. I know you guys did a lot of work, but what else? What were some of the culture things that you were able to take in beyond just building the playground?
So there was like a celebration going on when we got there. It was a little fiesta, and after we finished building, we got to go and just start dancing. There was nobody
dancing.
There was nobody dancing at first, but there was like a DJ and a whole bunch of people just around, lots of kids, and then I started dancing with a little kid and doing like a little dance battle. I did the worm on concrete, which hurt, but it got the kids going, so that was pretty cool. And then eventually, Clara came out and danced with me, and that pretty much brought the rest of the group out, and then all the kids started dancing with us, and we just all danced together, and then there were fireworks going off too. It was so cool. It was like...
That was a highlight, definitely, of the trip.
How was his worm? Rate his worm 1 to 10.
It was definitely a solid 9. It was really good. I think everyone was impressed there. Everyone was looking at him, taking videos.
What else did you guys do? You went to a bat cave?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
That was impressive. I've never been to anything like that, but I wasn't expecting us to be like swimming inside, like in pools inside of the bat cave. It was horrifying seeing all the spiders. I'm sorry, that was scary. Mm-hmm. Definitely that one that we saw, it was like this big, like my hand. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go anywhere near that. But
it was crazy. My group, I was with 6 other girls, I think, and they were all so scared. So I would just like literally help them, pick them up, and like help them get over this like ledge. If you fell, you'd be stuck. And Amara, a girl that I just met, like it would have been like 3 days ago at that time, jumped on me and like risked her life, jumping in my arms, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And like that's what Stacey was talking about, La Familia. That's when I started to bring that up because it felt like that really brought us all together.
That was fun, yeah.
That experience.
So for each of you, biggest takeaways from this trip. Issa, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I think for me was connecting with other student athletes that I spend every day with, but I've never talked to. Like that thing, there's like we really can talk and make connections and relationships, even if we're here. Like we're every day with each other, and also experiencing another culture that I only saw in like movies or like documentaries, and like when I got there I was like, oh, I'm here, like I can probably leave a mark, make an impact. And being able to talk in Spanish with them also, I think that brought me close to them. But just seeing how we helped and they helped us, I think that was something that I'm gonna take on my life, sure. Like it's gonna be forever.
Yeah, same thing with Issa, just how we all bonded together and all talked with each other, and it just puts it in perspective, like we see each other every day, but we don't talk to each other, and all it takes is just like one shared experience to really build a relationship. And within the culture aspect, I'd say the kids really taught me a lot because they were running around on like really bad grass or like gravel and bare feet, and they would fall and like they would start bleeding or something, get a bruise. They would just get back up, laugh, and just start running around again. And their culture is just like so much different from ours, because I feel like today it's just like a me, like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. But there it's just like so unselfish, and like in football we talk about what's next. They have like a what's next attitude on life. Like they just want to have fun, enjoying the moment. They don't need all the technology or stuff that we have here. They can have fun with whatever, just their perspective on things, and that really showed me a lot.
It's amazing.
I think for me, it's awesome to see what each student athlete gets out of the experience. They all take away something different. But I think one thing I've been trying to articulate and really reflect on is that they all are together in this group because they're student athletes, Nebraska student athletes. But you know, we're having this experience, and you get to completely take out really their identity as an athlete, and they're just able to be there and really just enjoy the moment that they're in. And I think that that's why they're able to take away so much from it, because they're not worried about competing. They're not worried about trying to win, or like it's just kind of an opportunity to them to just kind of sit back and see what impact they can have outside of being a student athlete. And so I think that's where a lot of the growth and learning comes from.
It's awesome.
I think for journaling, they gave us a journal, and we had to kind of every night or during the day journal our experience, and I think that also helped us grow a lot, to reflect on our experience and then share every night with everyone. I think that was awesome too.
And for Issa and Luke, I mean, you talk about life skills, and there's not a lot of college programs, I'm sure, that have the kind of program that Nebraska has in terms of life skills and everything that they offer you guys to be able to go out and give back. As a student athlete here, how important has life skills been, and Stacey and Keith and Tom and Kate provide for you guys to be able to do and these kinds of opportunities?
Well, I didn't really know much about it since that was my first year, but now ever since the trip, I've been talking to them more and looking for more opportunities to help around the community since.
I think, I've been here for 4 years already, and I think I wasn't really involved until this last year. That's when I kind of realized like everyone is doing so much for me here in Nebraska that I wanted to, all the opportunities that Stacey, Kate, and Tom provide us, and Keith, and I wanted to give back to the community. So I just, every time I had an opportunity to do it, why not? I had time, so I just called Stacey, hey, like, what do you have? Like, I'm down for that. And it's been it's been great. I'm definitely gonna do more in the next year.
That's awesome. You just heard her talking about, stepping away from being a student athlete. You can get so wrapped up in that, and there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and winning. How important is it to have that, where you step outside of that, and it is something bigger than what you're just doing with your sport every single day?
Yeah, it's really important. And during the trip, I felt like almost worry-free the entire time. Just like being around all the athletes and just working on something like that's like just so set and simple, but can benefit a community so much that you just like forget about everything else. Like we were in a whole different country with people I never met before, doing something to benefit these kids that I may never see again, but they will cherish this for the rest of their life. And I feel like that just takes me out of the entire sports world and into something else, which is definitely very beneficial for an athlete's mental health.
Yeah, definitely on that note, the mental health part, I think it's really hard on us if we're all day, every day focused on tennis or football and in our sport, in our team. I think getting away from that sometimes when we're at TT and we're with everyone else, it's just we're people together. No, it's not I'm in tennis, you're in football, you're in soccer. It's just we're friends and we're here. And then obviously that helped a lot, at least for me, to get back to that competitive mindset. And in the trip, like everyone, they didn't even know we were athletes. They were just like, we're kids, wanted to play with you, So that was really amazing.
What else?
What else?
What did I miss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of other takeaways and things, and I know one thing, the program, our tagline is "Open your mind, change your view, leave your mark," and I think that in some way, shape, or form, every student athlete who was on the trip that it accomplished that. I do think in leaving your mark, it is we're focused on the service component and what we're doing there, but then I also think this experience as a whole leaves a mark on who they are, which I think is even more important, in the grand scheme of things. So
That's a mic drop to end it on, I think.
Yeah.
So, Stacey,
good.
Lisa, appreciate your time and thanks for all you do. And it was a fun conversation. And I should mention too, because you guys had a camera following around you the whole time, right?
Taylor.
So
This
we
Thursday,
have
5 p.m.
a new episode of The Place that will be debuting on all of our Huskers platforms, on YouTube, on social media channels, so you can see all of the things that took place that we've just been talking about here in this conversation. Coming up again, 5:30 on Thursday. All right, thanks
Thank you.
for joining us and for the conversation, and thank you for listening. And make sure you subscribe and like wherever you listen to never miss an episode right here on the Huskers Radio Network podcast.